Invictus's top leaders terminated, seeking to reduce expenses for Harry and Meghan reveal that the Sussexes misappropriated $30 million. A volunteer strike. Prince Harry's upcoming Invictus Games in Canada are in upheaval after two senior executives were dismissed inexplicably, with just over a year to go. A whistleblower informed Mail Online today that the Invictus Games, scheduled for Vancouver and Whistler in February 2025, showcasing winter sports for the first time, are in disarray. However, Mail Online can exclusively disclose that CEO Peter Lawless, a lawyer and arguably Canada's most esteemed Olympic and Paralympic administrator, has abruptly resigned. An insider alleges that Mr. Lawless, honored with the Diamond Jubilee Medal by Harry's grandmother, the Queen, in 2012, was terminated, plunging staff morale to an all-time low. An Invictus Games spokesperson declined to comment on whether he was dismissed, stating he had been transitioned out and was no longer an employee but would remain an ambassador. Also departing the Vancouver Whistler team is Bill Cooper, Chief Commercial Officer, for 10 months until his departure in October. He expressed gratitude to colleagues for their support after being praised for his grace, and accused Invictus 2025 of a significant error in letting him go. A volunteer involved in the Games expressed concerns that recent moves could overshadow the event for veterans, and might strain Games finances if Invictus 2025 foots the bill for Sussex's security and other costs. The volunteer asserted that the 2025 Games are grappling with financial concerns, a statement refuted by an Invictus spokesperson, despite substantial commitments from the governments of Canada and British Columbia to stage the Games. The volunteer contends that the CEO and Chief Commercial Officer's departure has stirred internal unease, and might strain Games finances if Invictus 2025 has to bear the expense. The volunteer remarked that morale among staff and volunteers is at a nadir, with Prince Harry and his wife becoming a significant distraction amid all the troubles. As volunteers, they fret that recent actions might once again overshadow the event for veterans. Enough already. The whistleblower asserted that CEO Peter Lawless and Chief Commercial Officer Bill Cooper were dismissed without apparent cause, but revealed that Meghan and Harry misappropriated funds from the foundation through extravagant expenses. The dismissed leaders also advocated discontinuing payments for the Harkle security, clothing, jewelry, and luxury hotel stays. Recognizing that Harry and Meghan do not engage in unpaid activities and are concerned for their safety. The whistleblower contends that if Invictus has to cover security costs for the dubious duo, it amounts to exploitation. As a charity, the dubious duo should fund their own security expenses. British Columbia taxpayers should be aware that they will bear the costs of accommodations, travel, food, security, etc., for the Hartleys and their team during the Games. The whistleblower questions how much revenue the Invictus Games have generated for host countries, since Meghan turned it into a personal fashion show, emphasizing the absence of numbers for previous Games. They question the rationale of host countries contributing nearly $250 million to Invictus, only to incur losses. Taxpayers have better uses for their money. The situation is disheartening for Invictus staff and athletes, lacking the royal foundation to bail them out once more. Anyone observing Harry and Meghan's conduct during the last Games and speculating on what occurred behind the scenes, financially or personally, cannot be surprised by the challenges faced by the Invictus Games.